You find yourself tired of playing the quoting game as an insurance agent, trying to sell commercial insurance. You're out there trying to convince prospects to just use you to shop their insurance because guess what? You have access to all the markets that they need. But for some reason, these prospects just can't get it through their head and they just need to get quotes. If this sounds like something you're struggling with, stay tuned. In this video, I'm going to share with you how to get the exclusive, right? It's going to be 5 different kind of things you got to do to make sure that you get hired as the exclusive insurance agent going forward. Do me a favor though, before you exit out of this video, give us a thumbs up if you like it, and don't forget to click the subscribe button. It really helps us get the word out there. All right, well, welcome back. This is the Max Revenue Show. For those who don't know, we are a channel basically designated to insurance agents, specifically selling commercial insurance, and trying to teach you guys how to get better and to build $1 million plus revenue book of business. My name's Micah Salas, and let's get into this. All right, so getting the exclusive. If you've ever watched a real estate show, then you know that kind of the holy grail for a real estate agent, if they're talking to a developer or someone listing a property, is to get the exclusive, right? To be the only real estate agent that they use to list this commercial property, not to talk to 3 or 4 other brokers, but to just put their trust in them. As insurance agents, that's also our goal, right? Another term for this could be called getting the agent of record letter, right? Being the agent of record for your client. Now, there's a lot of videos out there on how to do this or what agent of record letters are. I'm not going to even go there. I'm going to assume you know that. But I want to talk about, first of all, 2 reasons that come up where you are going to be forced to make a decision, right? Your decision is either I'm going to go along with what the prospect says, I'll go to the marketplace, put together my submission and see what happens, right? Or you're going to push back a little bit. You're going to push back and you're going to say, hey, there's a different way to do this thing. There's a different way that a lot of other businesses are approaching the insurance. And here's what that looks like, right? So there's going to be that moment in a first meeting with a prospect where chances are they're so used to quoting and just letting 2 or 3 other agents look at it that they're not used to someone pushing back. So you got to get comfortable with that first of all, right? But the 2 scenarios where you have to quote, right? So if you've watched previous videos, you know I'm a big fan of getting agent of record letters, right? And going to get hired as the only agent, right? Getting the current agent, quote unquote, fired or replaced, hiring you and having you exclusively market the insurance for the upcoming renewal. That's the ultimate goal, right? Just so we're clear. But the world's not a utopian society, right? It doesn't always work the way that we want it to. And so there's 2 scenarios where I think that are just going to arise that you're going to have to talk about getting an exclusive. First is you're quoting or you're talking to a client that's with a carrier that you don't have access to, right? That agent has in place with an insurance carrier that you do not have a contract with. Therefore, you can't agent of record anything. You can't take that over, right? Or there may be with a direct writer. Same thing. They sell their insurance directly. You can't take that over. And the second scenario where you can't just win on an agent of record letter is if they're just they've been with an agent for a really long time and they just have a really hard time wrapping their head around firing their agent, right? Or replacing them or taking them off the current program, but they're totally open to letting you go to the marketplace potentially, right? Those are the 2 scenarios where the skill set of convincing the client that using you as their exclusive agent will benefit you greatly, right? So let's get into this. The first thing that you really need to know is how to detach. The first thing you got to do, I should say, is detach from the outcome. So you're at this first meeting, you're talking with a prospect. And what I always like to say is, hey, if I owned a business, this is what I would do, right? Because it truly is. That's truly how I feel. I would use one agent to market my business. Now, where these roadblocks come up about exclusive or dividing up markets is going to be when you're meeting with a buyer who, like I said a couple minutes ago, they're with an agent, they just can't fire, and they want to talk to 2 or 3 other agents to see what's out there, right? That's the scenario that's going to pop up. Or it's a market you don't have, and they want to talk to 2 or 3 other agents. The goal is, how do I convince the client to make me the only agent, right? Fine, they got the current guy. I can't take that. But I want to be the second option and the only other option. And I want to control the marketplace. I want to go to the markets I want to go to. So, like I said, the first thing you got to do is detach from the outcome when this scenario arises. Educate. Second thing, educate the buyer on the game. Real quickly, it sounds like this. Hey, there's 1,000 insurance companies out there, Mr. Business Owner. But once you kind of filter it down by geographic location, premium size, operations, that becomes a pool of maybe 5, 6, or 7, maybe even less. These 5 or 6 underwriters, they only sell through one agent, the agent that goes there first. So they're not going to release multiple quotes to 2 different agents or 3 different agents. That's not how they operate. And because of that, like I said, the agent who goes to them first with a submission is gonna win. So what a lot of buyers have been doing lately, because they're kind of frustrated, they're duplicating efforts, and it's kind of a bad look in the market to have multiple agents send submissions, is they're just hiring an agent, right? Or they're using an agent to go exclusively to the marketplace. And so that's the talk that you need to talk with your prospects, right? You just need to get them to understand how the game works, right? And the main thing is that there's not a lot of insurance companies. Insurance companies only quote through agents they have contracts with. Most of these agents represent similar carriers, and they'll only release one quote to one agent. So once they understand that, they can obviously kind of connect the dots and figure out that, yeah, using multiple agents doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Now, you might have a guy who's like, let's divide up the markets, or, yeah, I still want to use 2. And this is where, you got to kind of keep digging in a little bit. So here's some tactical things that you can say to a business owner, right, that will help them come to your side, right? And so the first is talk about underwriter excitement. Okay, so Mr. Business Owner, one of the first questions I'm asked when I send in a submission, or my team does, is, do you control this account? Now, if I don't, which in this case I won't, right, because you're with a market I don't have, but if I say, no, I don't control it, they're talking to 2 other agents, well, their excitement level is going to come down. They're busy, they're infiltrated with a ton of different quotes from agents, and they're going to want to work on the opportunities they have the best chance to win. They know the incumbents already got an advantage. So now if I tell them I'm not even the exclusive agent other than that, it kind of puts me lower on the totem pole. And you, Mr. Business Owner, potentially, I don't want to say you burn a market, but you cost yourself excitement with one of those 5 or 6 carriers who can quote your insurance. So that's a really important thing to understand, is just the whole emotional side from an underwriter. So get the client to put themselves in the underwriter's shoes. All right. Another thing that you should specifically mention is the negotiating power, right? There's something to be said when I can go, Mr. Business Owner, to the marketplace, to these 4 or 5 other markets that are out there, and I can tell them with authority and confidence that, yes, I'm the agent, they're with this carrier, I don't have access to them, otherwise I would have been hired, but I'm the only other agent going to the market. So, Mr. Underwriter, if you can get here, we can get a deal done, right? What's going to happen throughout the negotiating process and the marketing process is underwriters might ask you for certain things, and basically they don't want to go back and forth either. They're not going to go to their boss and ask for a favor if they don't think it's worth it. And so if they know they're dealing with basically the exclusive agent and they have a really good shot at winning this, they might go that extra mile. They might ask for that extra favor internally on their end as an underwriter, and then that will allow you to negotiate better on your end. So again, convey this to your clients. That's key. Okay. And the last thing I'll hit on here, this is the 5th. I know it hasn't been the cleanest 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but I'll recap here at the end. But the 5th thing is, hey, Susie, when you divide up the marketplace and you give me 3 markets and you give this other guy you're potentially looking at 3 markets, what ultimately happens is, let's say you like us and our services way better. And this other guy, you think he's okay, but you just really connect with us. However, he gets one of the markets that I could have gone to, but you give it to him, better price, and then the better coverage, but you like our service better. Now you just basically gave control of your hiring, power to the underwriter, because that underwriter is with that agent. And so now you're kind of in a rock and a hard place and you have to make a decision. So that's the last thing, guys. And so to drive the point home when you're talking with these prospects, basically you just need to remind them, like, hey, there's the only reason to go to the market with more than one agent is if we have different contracts with different carriers, right? Other than that, there's no reason to do this. And so if you can drive this point home to business owners, they will get it. Especially, when you do the 5 things, let's recap them. When you detach from the outcome and you come across as, hey, I'm just trying to educate you. I don't care what you do, but you really should pick one agent, whether it's me or the other guy. Just pick one based on who you think is going to deliver the best deal for you, right? And to service you the best after the sale and to help you with advisement, all that other stuff. Okay, so detach. Second thing, educate them on the game. Again, no skin in the game on your part. You're just educating them, telling them how the game works and how the system works, and leading them to the water, right? Not forcing it down their throat. Third, again, bring up the thing about underwriter excitement. Talk about how underwriters get more excited when they get a submission from the agent who controls the account, or if they know the agent is kind of the exclusive going to the market, right? And the only reason you're not AOR is because I don't have access. And the fourth thing, talk to them about it improves your ability to negotiate, right? To leverage carriers up against one another, to kind of play those games and to work the best deal for the client from a negotiating standpoint. And the fifth thing is talk to the client about giving up power, right, to the carrier. Every business owner likes control, they like power. And so if you talk about giving that up, that could be a sore spot for them. So those are the 5 things. I hope you guys got some value out of this video. Just remember, AOR is always the goal. Sometimes it's not possible. Sometimes you have to quote. And the key is in those situations to be the exclusive agent, not to be sharing the market with another potential agent, but to be the exclusive. That's not only the best for the client, but it is the best for you as well. Hey, if you liked the video, again, one more time, like, subscribe. Thanks for all your interaction, and send some comments below. Let me know your thoughts.